Hey y'all, it's Katie and welcome back to my channel. Today I am going through my ultimate apartment checklist. So I already have a video about what you need and what you don't for your first apartment, and I made that a while ago. But that video is more about if you're trying to save money, what are the absolute most important things to get and what shouldn't you get? If you were just going to one store and you needed to buy every single thing that you need for your apartment, this is that list. I've been crafting this entire checklist for y'all for a while. I've been going through each section of my apartment, thinking back to my previous apartments and what things were so important in those spaces to have. I'll include the actual checklist in the description below so y'all can print it out, edit, alter it in order for it to fit whatever you need for your apartment. I'll also try and link all of my absolute favorite items down below. So I'm gonna walk through all the different spaces of a typical apartment. Hopefully that will help with sectioning off each type of thing you need. I wrote the entire list down on my phone. There's no way I could remember all of this, so I'm just gonna walk through those. Starting off with the bedroom, and more specifically your actual bed. For your bed, you're gonna need a bed frame, which is just the physical structure that holds your bed, a mattress and box spring, a mattress protective cover, which helps preserve the mattress, so that way if anything spills through your sheets, it's that extra layer to help your mattress last longer, because you're gonna have that mattress for a really long time. 2 sets of sheets, one on your bed at all times, and then you have an extra, whether it's dirty and you need to clean it or it's waiting in the closet. For your comforter, I would highly suggest doing a duvet insert and then a duvet cover. The duvet insert is just how thick or thin you want your comforter to be. It's just that inside piece, so if you want it to be really fluffy and big or if you want it to be thinner, versus the duvet cover, which is the outside shell. So that is the actual piece that everyone sees on your bed as your comforter. And then as an optional piece, I would say to get matching shams to your duvet cover. I feel like it just makes the room look really clean. I know some people like to do mismatchy pillows and stuff like that, but if you're just starting off, go ahead and just get some matching shams and then you can always add stuff later. I would also recommend not getting super expensive bedding right off the bat because you don't know exactly what types of bedding you like. I would start with just normal, reasonably priced stuff, and then maybe as you start to upgrade, get more expensive stuff if you want to. You can also just keep the ones you like, especially if you have a dog and you let your dog on your bed. They chew on everything. It may not be the best idea to get expensive bedding. For your actual room, I go back and forth on some of these items, but up for y'all to determine which ones you want to pick and choose from. Nightstands, I think it's really important to have something in your room, home base for your phone and your chargers and all that stuff. A dresser, optional. I personally like not having a dresser, but if you don't have the closet space, then you definitely need something to hold all your clothes. Also for your clothes, you're gonna need a bunch of hangers, and I would highly suggest just going ahead and getting all matching ones. It just makes things look so much more organized and neat off the bat. So for the rest, I have a few optional ones, which are a fan. Josh says it's not optional. I'm not someone who really needs a fan or white noise in order to go to sleep. He does, so having that white noise might be helpful. Another optional one is a rug. I have never had a rug in my bedroom at all for my entire life, I don't think. I mean, growing up, I had carpet. We actually got a rug for this apartment, and it's so nice when you get out of bed in the morning that you have like a cozy little rug instead of a cold hardwood floor. It's an option. If you can find a cute, cheap rug somewhere, that's nice, but it's not necessary. I also feel like it makes the room feel a little more cozy. Another one is a full-length mirror, which I'm saying this is optional, but I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it, because I think that a full-length mirror is so helpful when figuring out your outfits and making sure everything goes together. I will say that I am on the hunt for a good full-length mirror. I really want a nice big one for our apartment, but unfortunately, I'm one, not prioritizing looking for it because I just remembered that I hadn't done it. And two, I actually have been able to see most of my outfit in my bathroom mirror. I'll just kind of like, for shoes, I'll put my leg on the counter or something. I don't know. I feel like having a full-length mirror just is a necessity, and you can get really cheap ones, so it's not a matter of price per se, but if you have the room, I would highly suggest it. And then the last one is something that I feel strongly about, but optional. I think that you should have a dedicated phone charger for your bedside table. So that thing does not move, and then you have other phone chargers throughout your apartment. That way, you're not moving things around, or when you get into bed at night, you don't have to go searching for where you left your phone charger. Having those dedicated chargers just makes it so nice and easy to just decompress and lay down and everything's set up. Moving into the bathroom. First off is your actual shower. So you have your shower curtain, but most shower curtains that actually look really cute don't come with a liner. So you need a shower liner, which is the inside plastic piece that goes in the shower. And then you also need hooks to hook on the shower curtain and the shower liner onto the shower rod. Didn't realize that those were all separate pieces, but a lot of times you have to buy them separately. Also, a nice bath mat, which I have gone through so many bath mats in this apartment alone, and we've only lived here for like 2 months. And I ended up just going back to the bath mat that I originally had in our old apartment. I got rid of it because I didn't like the color, but it was just the softest, nicest thing when you get out of the shower. It doesn't have to be like super expensive or anything, but you want to make sure that you have one that is cozy and dries really well. For the room portion, I also split it up into a few different categories, but for towels, for each person, I would suggest 2 full-size towels, one for using, one that needs to be cleaned, 2 hand towels, same thing, and 2 washcloths, and then also a microfiber cloth for cleaning your mirror. Apparently they're supposed to be better than paper towels. It doesn't scratch it as much, but Josh tells me, I don't know. So we have one of those. Going into cleaning supplies. Very important in the bathroom to have cleaning supplies. As an optional, I would say maybe a soap dispenser. If you just want to have like the same soap dispensers throughout your house, I would recommend having like a reusable one. Would also suggest a small trash can with a lid. There's nothing worse than looking at other people's trash. Just get one with a lid. It looks way nicer. Just like one of the little like 5-liter ones. And then also make sure you get small trash bags to put in those. Next is a plunger and a toilet bowl wand. I'm putting these together because I feel like most of the time we just get sets where they come together. Also toilet bowl cleaner, bathtub cleaner, and then window cleaner for your mirror. Also poopery. It's the best thing ever invented. I don't think I could ever have a bathroom anymore that doesn't have it stocked. For organization, I would say to make sure that you have a bath basket for your counter, so all of your daily bathroom items, your face wash, your lotions, all that. And that way it doesn't get like cluttered all over the counter. Just one central location for all of that. A bath basket for your closet, which is all of your items that don't fit on the bathroom counter. So anything extra that you may not be using day to day, just in a basket in the closet. And then drawer organizers. Those are so important. I cannot stress enough how easy it is that my makeup is all separated, all my hair ties in one basket, all of my scrunchies in another. Drawer organization is a necessity. Going into the living room, there's really not a lot of stuff in here. Most of it's self-explanatory, starting off with a sofa and then pillows that come with it. You don't really need to buy like decorative pillows, maybe 1 or 2 for each side. That's all you need. Next, optional, I talked about this in my last video, is a coffee table. So we actually got a coffee table for this apartment. I wasn't for or against it. Oh, actually, I remember also why we got a coffee table, which is a blanket basket. So we ended up getting a coffee table where you could lift the top and then there's storage for blankets underneath. So it's kind of a 2-for-1. It takes up less space. Also with any type of tables, I would highly recommend coasters. I never grew up using coasters. I don't think so, but since living with Josh, we've used them a lot to preserve like all of our furniture that we've bought. So I think they're a great idea. Another optional rug, which I think if you're choosing between a rug in your living room and your bedroom, I would honestly choose the rug in the living room. It helps create an actual space for where your couch and coffee table are, especially if you have more of an open concept where you have maybe a desk in the living room or you can access your kitchen. Having a rug really helps with sectioning off that living room space. Another one I would highly suggest is a bookshelf, and you can use that for books or for storage. I've used it for both. Currently, books and dog toys. So it's whatever you want to use it for, and I think you can put a lot of miscellaneous decor on there as well. Another optional one, TV. If you are getting a TV, I would recommend either getting a smart TV, having a streaming stick, or getting an HDMI cable to connect your computer to. We don't have cable. I don't think I've had cable in any of my apartments, and just kind of go off the streaming services. We got a streaming stick for this apartment, and it's been so nice to have that access to the TV from a remote versus walking up to our computer that's connected to the TV and inputting all of our stuff on there. But that definitely did save us a lot of money by just having the HDMI cable. And then the last one Josh actually recommended is speakers. So having a speaker in your living room is just nice. You can have a portable speaker and move it anywhere, but just having its home location in the living room is nice for when people come over and you just want to play music. The next section is the kitchen. I separated separated it into a bunch of different categories. First category of appliances and big ticket items. First and foremost, a crock pot, some type of instant pot or whatever, something to cook your meals in. Crock pot is a lifesaver. Next is a few pots and pans. If I hadn't mentioned before, Josh is the leader of the kitchen over here, so he helped me craft a bunch of the stuff on this list. So his recommendations are a non-stick skillet, a frying pan, a saucepan, and then a small and a big pot. That's what you need according to Josh. Some baking sheets, a toaster, a blender. We had a really small blender, which I really liked, but we actually upgraded to a bigger blender, and it's been so nice to make like a bunch of smoothies at once, and then maybe we can freeze them or put them in the fridge or something for later versus having to make individual servings. So I go back and forth on which one I like, but I think the bigger one is winning me over. A French press for coffee, if you're a coffee drinker. I am not, but Josh is huge on coffee. So we have a French press, and then we also have an espresso maker and frother. Very important if you want to make lattes at home and save a lot of money. And then also I would highly recommend a water filter if you either don't like the quality of your water or you don't have an in-fridge water dispenser thing. For dishes, I've talked about this before and I will continue to say it. Mason jars are the best cups ever. You can also use them for sauces and just making things and storing them. Highly recommend having mason jar glasses. They're also super, super cheap. Also, if you want specialty glasses, I would get some wine glasses as well. For plates and bowls, I actually found this set at World Market that I'm obsessed with. I love the color, very reasonably priced. It was just 4 bowls, 4 mini plates, and then 4 big plates. I think we actually ended up getting 2 sets of those, but I'm in love with them. I'll try and see if I can link them down below. They're the perfect starter set for any apartment. Also, silverware, you know, just some knives, spoons, forks. You don't need a lot, just a few sets per person. Just think about how much you'll actually be washing your dishes. I know our dishwasher in our new apartment is a little smaller than our old one, so we actually end up doing our dishes more often. And then another super important one is glass food storage containers. So try not to get plastic ones because they warp and food stains will stick to them, especially red spaghetti sauce. Oh my goodness, I cannot get that out, but would highly recommend glass food storage containers. They last forever and they wash really easily. Or cookware. Would suggest getting just 1 or 2 cutting boards. We only really use 1 right now. I think we might have a second one, but really only use 1. Maybe if you want to split it for like, if you're cutting raw meat, you might want another one for veggies. For cutting knives, Josh suggests a chef's knife and a serrated knife with sharpening steel. Would also really suggest a strainer and one that goes over the sink. It's so nice that you can expand it and then just pour your stuff in versus having to hold a strainer. I just like that it doesn't touch the bottom of the sink at all. For measuring cups, I would highly suggest getting 1 big glass one. I think the one we have is for 2 cups, and you can use those for all your liquids. And then for dry foods, getting a set of measuring cups. The dry food measuring cups that we have are probably the most amazing ones I've found so far. They're stainless steel, so they're super easy, and also they're magnetic, so you don't have to put them all in that ring. They all snap together and it's so nice when cleaning. I would also get a few mixing bowls. I think we have 2 or 3, nothing special. They're multi-purpose because you can mix food in them. We also use them as like popcorn bowls or any type of chip bowl. And then cooking utensils like a spatula, cooking spoon, tongs, peelers. And then Josh also recommends a juice press. For organization, probably some of my favorite organization pieces in the kitchen are my egg organizer, which may seem ridiculous, but I think it looks so much nicer in the fridge when the eggs are in a clear container versus the egg crates that they come in. It lets you know when you're about to run out of eggs versus opening it up and finding out the day of. Would also highly recommend, this one's optional, but putting all of your spices into matching jars, I think helps with having everything pretty uniform and you can see when you're about to run out of spices really easily versus a lot of times like the label will get in the way and you won't realize it. Also, if you have a bunch of spices, have a spice rack. That way they're sitting at different levels and you can easily search and find them versus having to dig through everything. Another one is a snack bin. So try not to buy snack foods at all, but when we do, we just have this one bin that we throw all the snacks in. If we need a snack, we know that's just the one place we'll go. Also a fruit basket. I don't have a traditional basket. Mine's a basket, but it's pretty open and it just has wire frames, and I actually have 2 that stack on top of each other. So for smaller fruits and then bigger fruits, it's just nice to have them all in one place. And then the rest of the organizing stuff, I have a cookbook holder for all of your cookbooks, a a cookbook stand for when you're actually using one to cook. And then my whiteboard calendar and markers. I love to have that in the kitchen. It's so nice to see your schedule, what's coming up, and more drawer organizers. I use the same drawer organizers in my bathroom as I do the kitchen, and it just makes things a lot more nice and neat. I guess the one drawer organizer that's different is the utensil organizer, so just being able to split up your knives, forks, spoons, and then any other smaller utensils. For cleaning supplies, again, I would recommend having a soap dispenser, probably the same one that you would have in the bathroom, sponges, dish soap, dishwasher pods, floor cleaner, and then all-purpose cleaner. So whether that's spray or wipes, I have both, but something that you can clean your counters with. And then some miscellaneous kitchen stuff, because this is all stuff we have, but I don't really know where it fits in the categories. Bar stools, important if you have a bar. We don't have a traditional dining table or anything, so we eat on our island. A bar cart, very optional, but it's nice to have all of your bar stuff in one location instead of searching through all your kitchen stuff trying to find it. Josh recommended this one, and this is a new addition to our apartment, but fresh herbs. You can save a lot of money by planting your own herbs and not buying them from the grocery store every week. A bottle opener, a wine bottle opener, trash and recycle bins if your apartment doesn't already supply you with some. I know some places have specific ones that you need to have. They do trash pickups or whatever. I'd recommend just like the 13-gallon one. Also make sure that you get trash bags and recycle bags. I've never heard of a recycle bag before, but at our new apartment, we have specific recycle bags that we use. So they must be some sort of material that you can actually recycle. And then of course, things like sandwich bags, oven mitts, dish towels, lighters if you're allowed to have candles, and then bowl holders, which this one is optional. I don't think I've ever bought a bowl holder in my life, but my mom made me these and I've been using them for everything lately. When you take your bowl out of the microwave, it's so nice just to have it and you can carry a bowl without it being super hot and burning your hands. Or if you're eating ice cream, it's very nice that it's not really cold in your hands. Or even with hot tea. I've been using it with tea a lot lately as well. So this whole next section, which is the office, this is optional or pick and choose based on your scenario. We do not have an office. We don't have dedicated space. We live in a one-bedroom apartment. These are items that we utilize in our office spaces. So Josh has his office set up in our bedroom and I have a little office space in our living room. If you don't work from home, I can see why you wouldn't need this space, but it's also nice to just kind of have a dedicated space for all of your office supplies and electronics. All of these are optional, but having a desk, a chair, a floor protector, which honestly I didn't think about, but since our new place is hardwood and not carpet, it's nice to have something to make sure that we don't scratch the floors. Some type of filing system for any paper documents, so whether that's a folder, a box, like those accordion things, whatever works best for you. A laptop stand, which I just got one again for this apartment, and it's been helping so much with me not looking down, instead looking straight forward for better posture. I've really been liking it, but if you get a laptop stand, you probably need to get a keyboard and then also some sort of mouse or trackpad, because otherwise you're like typing all the way up here, and that's also not good for your posture. Also, a laptop holder. This is something that has changed my life. So if you have multiple laptops, like a work laptop, a personal laptop, or maybe you have an iPad or something, you can get these laptop holders, which take up like zero space. Instead of stacking your laptops up and down, it just has these little slots for them so they can stack vertically, and it's so nice and saves a lot of space. I also have gotten wrist pads for your keyboards and then like your trackpad in order to help, because I need to make sure that, again, good posture and good alignment. Would also highly recommend a desk plant. I feel so much better at my desk because I'm kind of like facing a wall with my desk. But having a desk plant, it's just nice to have that reminder of life and just makes me feel good. And then typical office supplies like tape, especially packaging tape. I feel like that's something that's super important to always have on hand. Scissors, sticky notes, and Sharpies. And then the final last section, which of course I cannot put all of these into categories, so I've named it the organization, closet, laundry, miscellaneous section. So for organization, I would highly recommend some sort of shoe shelf entry table if you have the space. It's an entry table, but you can also put your shoes underneath the table. And I feel like that's so nice because you're gonna have your shoes when you walk out the door anyway. So instead of having them in your closet or just hanging around on the floor or just like a random shoe shelf, it's nice that it's a 2-in-1. Also a key basket. I know some people have hooks and holders for all of that stuff. We just use a basket and it works really well. I'm not really talking about dog stuff in here. I have another video of different dog stuff that I would highly recommend, but something that I haven't talked about before is a leash holder. I forget who posted it, but they had a video of where their dog leash was hanging on a hook right next to the door. Probably not something super crazy, but I thought it was so nice. So I put like a metal hook in the wall, and that's where we hang Eli's leash, and it's been so nice that it's right there by the door ready to go. Closet and miscellaneous stuff, I would say vacuum. Super important. You need a vacuum for your apartment. Even if it doesn't look dirty, I feel like sometimes I'll run a vacuum through the apartment and so much stuff ends up in there. I am obsessed with my Dyson vacuum. I love it so much. Yes, it's super expensive, but I think it's completely worth it. What I like most about it is the fact that it has so many different attachments and it doesn't have to be plugged in. Also, paper shredder is super nice. I used to just cut up things that I didn't want to throw away completely, but the paper shredder has actually been really helpful. And then just going through this list, I would suggest that everyone has at least 2 beach towels. Maybe you just want to go to the beach. I don't know. But if you need like a towel that can get dirty, just have 2 beach towels per person, sunscreen, bug spray, first aid kit. And if this stuff isn't in your first aid kit, make sure you have isopropyl alcohol, Neosporin, and Band-Aids. Flashlights, which the power went out in our apartment one time and I didn't want to use our phone batteries. So there are actually situations where you might need to use them. Extra batteries, a toolkit, and over-the-door hangers. Probably one of the best organization life hacks I have. I think we have over-the-door hangers on 2 or 3 of our doors. It just makes it so easy to hang stuff, provides extra storage and organization options. For laundry, if you don't have a dedicated laundry room, I would suggest having a laundry hamper that once it's filled up, it's time to do laundry. If you have a dedicated laundry room, I would suggest only having a laundry basket. That way, whenever you do laundry, you don't throw it in a hamper in order to bring it over to the space. You just have one basket that sits in your actual laundry dedicated space, and that way there aren't dirty clothes everywhere. It only goes to that one spot. And then also, of course, you need laundry detergent and dryer sheets if you use those. For outdoor stuff, would highly recommend soccer chairs or camping chairs. That's what Josh calls them. But just like those outdoor chairs that you have, we have 2 and they're so nice. We use them actually as our patio furniture. But if we ever want to go out to the park or we're going to sit around, we would bring them to go socially distance outside and stuff. It's nice that they're multi-purpose and you can use them for whatever you want. Also, if you're going outside places, would highly recommend a cooler for any drinks that you want to bring. We actually didn't buy a cooler until a month ago. I feel like we usually just relied on other people's coolers, but it's nice to have your own. And I would suggest a portable one starting off. And I know I kind of mentioned plants and stuff before, but would highly recommend plants. It just makes things feel so much more lively. Just seeing like our growing garden that we have. I'm calling it a garden. Even if you don't have a lot of space, just having those few plants is so nice. And it just feels good to have that life in your apartment. But you don't have to go all out. Don't go buying a million plants. Start off slow and then just add to your collection. And then finally, electronics. I'm sure I don't have to tell you all this, but make sure that you have enough phone chargers, extension cords, and power strips are also super important, especially if you live somewhere that doesn't have a lot of outlets or around your desk setup where you may need to plug a bunch of things in. Power strips are super important. And the last one's super optional, but I think that a heating pad is always necessary. I feel like you don't buy one until you need it. If you want to relax, or maybe you're not feeling great, maybe you get a COVID vaccine, who knows? But I feel like a lot of times a heating pad is really helpful, especially if you have sore muscles, want to chill, whatever. And that is my ultimate apartment checklist. Oh my goodness, that was a doozy. I'll have it linked down below for anyone who wants to go through it themselves. And I hope this is super helpful for anyone who is moving into their first apartment. Maybe you're just moving in general and you want to make sure you have all of these items. Or maybe you just don't know exactly what you don't have in your apartment and you're just looking for some inspiration. If you found this video helpful, please feel free to give it a like and subscribe. Also, comment down below if there is anything that I left off that you think is super important. Thank y'all so much for watching to the end of this video and see y'all soon. Bye!